Hello, my name is Lonnie Stepler, and I would like to share with you today about a book that we're going to be offering a book group centered around, starting on February 16th. So this will be offered through Step to the Music, which Step to the Music offers different gatherings to help people connect with other people, to promote growth, whether personal, relational, or spiritual growth, oftentimes all three, and move toward more joy in their lives. So starting February 16th, we're going to be starting, I'm calling it a spring book group, but it is starting in winter time, but it'll be spring before we're done with it. So we're going to meet on 5 different occasions over the course of about 2.5 months. So twice a month, 5 sessions, and if the cost will be $50. However, if you find a friend and you register with a friend, you can each receive $15 off of that registration amount. So please note that registration does end 2 days before the first session begins. So what I've done, if you look at the link for registration, I also break down the book into a reading schedule. So each session we're going to cover a different section of this book. And this is the name of the book we're going to focus on during this spring book group, and it's called Get Your Life Back by John Eldredge, Everyday Practices for a World Gone Mad. One of his other really popular books is called Wild at Heart, if you've ever heard of that. He wrote this in 2020. I believe it was written and even published before, or certainly at the early part of COVID. I think he did most of the writing even before the COVID-19 pandemic. But I think it's especially applicable and helpful in light of the pandemic, but also just some different ways that our culture at large has operated for years. I think the practices that he includes are very applicable for many people. So what I'd like to share with you today is a short excerpt from the introduction, along with an app that he gives for free to anyone who is interested. And the app itself has some excerpts from the book, but also some tools to help you begin practicing some of the spiritual graces that he outlines in this book. So I'll go ahead and dive in, and hopefully this excerpt will help you gauge whether or not this book is something that you would find value in. So this is found in the introduction. It says, "It's no coincidence that one of the most important books on our world and what technology is doing to us is called The Shallows, What the Internet is Doing to Our Brains. We're losing our ability to focus and pay attention longer than a few moments. We live at the depth of the text, the swipe, the like. This isn't just an intellectual problem, it's a spiritual crisis. It's pretty hard to hear deep calling unto deep when we're forced into the shallows of our own hearts and souls by this frenetic world. Jesus heard even my surface prayers. He came to my rescue and began to lead me into a number of helps and practices, what I would call graces. Simple things like a 1-minute pause that were accessible and surprising in their power to restore. Learning benevolent attachment, the ability to let things go. Allowing for some transition in my day instead of just blasting from one thing to the next. Drinking in the beauty God was providing in quiet moments. My soul began to recover, feel better, do better, however you want to describe it. I began to enjoy my life with God so much more. I was finally experiencing the more of Him I'd been wanting so much. I began to get my life back." Get Your Life Back is the title. So with that, I hope that helps you gauge whether or not this book would resonate with you. I love doing book groups because just to share a little bit of context, there's something called the Triangle of Well-Being. I don't remember offhand who developed this, but the 3 points, if I remember correctly, are learning, relationships, and performance. And so in this book study, obviously there's going to be some learning happening through the book. But by going through the book and with other people in a group setting who are also wanting to grow in this area, it provides that relational aspect. And on the performance side, it encourages accountability, not in a rigid way, but just naturally, it encourages you to put into practice what you're learning, because some of the discussion will revolve around that. So with that, please consider being part of this book group. I'm really excited to be able to offer it. I know what I have read of the book so far, I am loving. I have not read the whole thing yet. I'm about a third of the way through. And please note that during the first session, it's assumed that people who have begun to read the book. So look at the description of the book group and look for that reading schedule. And I think it's through chapter 2 for that first session. So if you're seeing this video, if you're interested in being part of the book group, please don't hesitate to get your book ordered, get it on the way so that you can have that reading done by the time we have that first session. We'll be doing these sessions through teleconference rather than Zoom. So just please note that all you need is a phone and you can easily be part of these. So I also wanted to share with you the app that John Eldredge and his team have developed that includes some excerpts of the book, but also the 1-minute pause that I shared in the excerpt. This app is really designed around helping people begin to just take 1-minute pauses. But if you do enough of them, then it unlocks features for 3-minute pauses and 5-minute pauses and 10-minute pauses. And they're guided pauses, which I have found especially helpful. So again, just so you're aware, the name of the app is called the 1-minute pause. And the picture just looks like a pause mark. It's just two lines in the app icon. And there have been multiple times for me personally in the last week where I get worked up about something, and then learning to just take that few-minute pause. It's amazing how I've been able to let some things go that I otherwise get pretty worked up about. And in the introduction, he compares our spirits to the spirits of horses. And if you've been around horses at all, you know sometimes it doesn't take much for them to get antsy and agitated and worked up, and then it takes a little while for them to get back to that place of being calm and rooted and grounded. And just that analogy has really been helpful for me, because I've begun to monitor my own spirit a little better and notice when am I worked up and agitated, and realizing I don't have to just stay in that state. I can incorporate some of these different graces and rhythms and practices to bring me back to that place where I am more calm. And I also just want to read to you from the table of contents, because he goes through in the table of contents some of the different graces or practices that he talks about in this book. So he starts out with the 1-minute pause. Another is benevolent detachment, drinking beauty, simply unplugging, kindness toward ourselves, allowing for transitions, get outside. Those are a few of them, and there are others. So please consider joining us for this book group. If you're not able to join us for the book group, I still highly encourage the app. Even if you're not going to order the book, the app is free, and you can read some very helpful excerpts from the book and also get access to some of the 1-minute pause that I was mentioning. So thank you for your time, and I hope you found this valuable, even if you're not able to join us for the book group. But if you are interested in joining us, check out the registration link for more details and for that coupon code. If you decide to ask a friend to join you and they agree, you can each receive $15 off. So the coupon code and all of that is in the description of the event. So thank you for your time, and take care. Bye-bye.